Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'd like to welcome all my subscribers and my new subscribers. Welcome back, and thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate it, helps me out. What we're looking at here today is the first free mower of the year. Free mower's been getting harder and harder to find. A lot of people are trying to sell broken mowers. May not be worth it, but this one here is the first free one I came across. Story on this one is they just said, you know, it's out there, come and get it. And so I went and picked it up, did an initial look at it, pulled the stick on it, and it was reading probably up around here on the oil. So I'm going to show you how much oil I actually took out of this. See these two containers? Well, first I filled this one. I stuck the stick back in there and it looked like it was pretty close, and it sat overnight, and the next day I came back and there was probably so much in it that it drained down from the head and everything else, that when I read it again it was high again, and I filled up this container. So that's quite overdone. So right now, we're reading right about here, good, in between the two marks. So after I adjusted the oil, it was also filled to the rim with gas. So I sucked fuel out of that tank back there. Sucked fuel out of the tank here. The fuel looked good, so I take it that they added fuel, new fuel. Couldn't get it started. There was a bag on it that had grass in it. Oddly, the grass looked to be fresh cut, which would mean that this thing was running, but I don't think it was running, to be quite honest, because I did spray with some carb clean in there. It did fire, but it would die out. Then at some point I kind of got it, after keep spraying and spraying in there, keep it going, kind of ran a little bit till it died out. So probably some bad fuel in there, and also way overfilled on oil. So gonna take this carb off, see what we have inside there. Get this out of the way. So I said, harder to come across these mowers, free mowers. Okay, so this is in pretty nice condition. For running it with oil, it didn't seem like there was a lot of oil blown out of here, so it may have died. Oh, and I'm also getting the stinkometer out of this thing, so there definitely is old fuel in here somewhere. Maybe like a better look over here. Now, this is, let me grab a pair of gloves. I was going to say this is a Cub Cadet with a Honda engine on it, which is basically your Honda clone, which I would say out of stuff made in China, those are about the best engines, just because they've probably been making them longer. I got 10 millimeter here. That's probably take 90% of this engine apart, which is also nice. And this one here is the old style Honda, say Honda 215 style. with actual bolts here. Makes taking this carb apart real nice because you just take the bolts off and then everything slides off instead of the new Honda where everything just falls apart. So we got one here. That's a longer one. And then these two are just nuts. And then this whole outer part will come off. That's pretty nice. They actually, see that? Actually put a little clamp on this breather line. That is the breather line, right? Why we haven't... Looks like there's two breathers. Maybe one is for the tank. Oh yeah, this thing's stinkometer. So definitely got some old fuel in here. Let's see, we got some wacky configured thing here. I don't know if I could get this off. Let's get some light. I was hoping that I didn't have to take the cover and the thermostat off. One gasket that fell apart. Let's get this disconnected. And then just try to push this fuel line back. A little twisty. There's any corrosion in here. I don't really want a wrench on that to it's coming. Okay, so I did kind of run the gas out of here. So I guess we don't have to worry about that. Very well. So we're gonna do the old pull here, push this up. And I believe there's an air vane right there. I was hoping I could get this off without having to remove this. Yep, whole stud came off now. So there's a work around that. This is what we're looking at. Yep, this guy here is the thermostat. So let's go back here. Will this pick up and just lift off? I believe it will, but otherwise you have to take these two 10s off. Wow, that's kind of a pain. could do it, but I would end up probably bending the link. Okay, let's take those off then. Okay, 10 on here. Yep. It's gonna need this 10 anyway. I can just like that, and then I get it. Okay, yep, don't have to actually move that. All right. So here's probably our dirty carb. Let's take this in for a little further inspection. Okay, so let's look at this. What do we have waiting and lurking behind door number 2? Just gonna clean off some gunk. What do you think? Let's put you where I can see you. Should I just crack this or this? Guess we'll just go right for this. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. Okay, we're starting to drip. Like I said, I did run it. Oh yeah. Gelatin. See that? It's like ethanol crust. This is, a lot of times you don't see that. You see the, right back in those corners, this is the classic ethanol gel. A lot of times you don't see that. A lot of times it's more of a, this doesn't look too bad. A lot of times it's more of like a rust or something else in there. That doesn't look too bad. This doesn't look bad. Let's see if I could see any light. Yeah, I just lost my light. Well, we're going to pull this jet anyway. Oh, and we're going to pull this jet here. So let's take this one first. If it cooperates. Okay, I think that, maybe not. Okay, that's not budging right now, so I'm going to run this in an ultrasonic and then see if that'll loosen. But we'll get this one out. Little idle jet. Now this will be experiment. There's a spot for 2 O-rings. A lot of times there's only 1 in there. I'm going to guess this Chanda probably has 2, which I think is the proper way. Can you see that? You could already see 1. See that green O-ring? And there's 2. So, as I said, a lot of times these Chandas, they're actually put together pretty good. So that might be clogged up. Here you can see this. It's It's almost like flaking right off. So this is classic ethanol. I'm going to give this a little carb spray and see if this will be able to be busted loose. So that down there is brass. So if this screwdriver starts slipping, it'll strip it out. There's a way that you can get that out if that happens. I have a video. I'm using a Torx bit, but it is kind of a pain. So let me squirt this here a little bit. Okay, so ran this through the ultrasonic. Looking pretty good. I did polish up this seat area. I have a video on how to do that with a little Q-tip and a drill. Bowl looking good. So let's put this back together. This has the little springy thing. That's nice about these Hondas, Chinese Honda. So that holds in that. Like I said, these Hondas are pretty overall good engines, I think. Actually, compared to Briggs, I like these newer Briggs plastic carb engines. Yeah, these, you know, these are pretty good. Okay, you can see that it's closing up or moving. Test it with some air here. Is sealing. Here's our jets. This one got a little mangled, so I went over this with a little file so it would be smooth. So this one drops in, and this is the jet side, and that's the screw side, so we put that in there. Start that. Once it stops, just give it a little snug, because we don't want to okay, now we're in. So just gonna snug that down a little bit. Good. So this goes, this choke, throttle, bowl, drain will go to the front, so it'll go on that way. Bowl nut. And we'll just give it a little snug here. It's nice to just put this down on a flat. I mean, a flat surface against this. Got the idle jet. Really only can go in one way because there's a flat there. I'm going to push that all the way in. That's in all the way, can't go anymore. Now we got to put that plastic screw. This is just here basically to oh boy. It just basically holds that throttle open. So usually you can kind of maybe see how far it was sticking out the other side there. But if you're unsure, when you close this, you don't want it to slam shut. It should be like a tiny sliver of an opening. I'd say that's close enough. So now we can start reassembly here. So the nice thing about this is that, as I said, you got these studs. So this gasket here, okay, there was no other gasket. So this guy went in there. Let's not mess this up. Okay, we gotta tighten up those. This guy, the link will go in here. And the little springy duty is gonna go in this spot there. Okay. Like I said, these are kind of nice because when this choke is on, as soon as the air starts going, right, it starts up, choke comes off. Now it also has the heat activated doohickey here. Let me get this on first. So the fuel line is on. Let's bring this clip over. Okay, let's see this. Need the screw right here. Okay, and we got this one I didn't take off, so just have to manually do this one. That's working. The throttle is working. Now we have this, which is a little bit something that I'm not familiar with, so I think this was in, nope. Okay, no, it's not gonna have to go this way, so I guess it would have to catch that piece. Let me figure this out. Okay, got it on. So, choke is closed, the air vane comes on, choke goes wide open, and if this heats up, this will go like this and open that. So that's all right. One gasket here. This one gonna go this way, so this hole goes down on that hole. So that goes in there like that, which works with this. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but two nuts go in there, and then we get our tins. That's why I said this is quite nice. It's the old style Honda setup, where you would have just these two nuts. just snug. I'll just check that everything works again. Working. It's a little oily in here because how much it was overfilled. I shook this out. Overall, it's a pretty nice shape. And don't know if that is the date. Up here, I put this one back on. I had to hold this from the top and then unscrew the nut to hold that cover down. It's interesting, this actually has a vent of some sort from the tank that goes up into here. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, and then it comes back down and goes under here and back into here. So I don't know if this is some type of filter. Could be some type of a carbon filter. On a vehicle. Very nice recoil, metal pawls here. It's greased up. Feel it. These are nice. On a Honda, it's just a nut, whereas this has an actual cap nut type thing. So you won't get rain going down in here in season, even though this one did get a little stuck with the stud underneath. But that's the only problem this has. That's not a problem. Gonna gas it up, start it up. Might smoke like heck because of all the oil. If there's oil in the muffler, then we'll dump the oil because we'll do an oil change and check on this blade. Okay, what do you think? One pull? Like I said, it might smoke a lot because of the oil. Okay, so as you can see, it wasn't revving up. I played with the governor there. There was probably a little blockage of some sort, and it cleared out and then started running normally. So now I'm just going to dump the oil out, check that blade, do a sharpening.